He's going to find himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Newhoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. Doesn't qualify as well as he races. Only
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haight deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
And I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately, isn't it? What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the out pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Oh, Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed more and forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly, Miller's still start dropping. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Bill Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot have fun. Yeah, and it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. The Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Does he have it? Medeiros is going to get it. Oh, look at the Tyson. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry. Mike inputs. Good evening and welcome to the Triple Bypass Round 6 live from Richmond Raceway. I am James Barber, going to be joined in the booth by the one and the only, the mighty Dean Biggles here this evening as well, when we are on round 6 of the Next Gen League here tonight. And tonight is Richmond, banking 14 degrees in the turns, 8 degrees at the starting line, and on the front stretch it's 14 degrees on the 8 degrees on the starting line, and on the front stretch 2 degrees on the back stretch. The radius of turns 1 and 4, 1198.68, turns 2 and 3, 365. 64-foot width with concrete pit stalls here as well, and a seating of 51,000 seats here this evening, plus 680 seats that are part of the Talk Club and the 80-person Victory Lane Club. There are also 40 luxury suites here at Richmond as well, and what an absolute epic evening we are going to have. Don't forget, this evening is sponsored by Scott Kelly, so thank you so much for Scott here this evening sponsoring this amazing race. And also don't forget, if you want to get yourselves involved, we have got 4 nights of racing: Sundays Next Gen, Wednesdays road racing, Tuesdays late models, and Thursdays Gen 4s. 12 races, seasons, championship trophies. Session opens at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, with qualifying at 9 p.m. Eastern, and guaranteed heart-breaking racing. So there you go, get yourselves involved if you would like to, with the links down in the description below. It will be absolutely amazing and you'll have a wonderful time, I'm sure. But last time out, guys, as well, we were at Pocono, and let's catch up with what happened shortly.
In an exhilarating race on July 16, 2023, the Triple Bypass Cup Series roared into action at Pocono Speedway for race 5 of the 12-race season. With 70 laps of intense racing, the drivers left no room for disappointment. Number 27, Sexy Waltrip started from the pole position and dominated the race from start to finish. He led an impressive 44 laps, showcasing his skill on the track. With a fastest lap time of 53.6 seconds, he left his competitors in awe. Number 99, John Kreidler, put on a strong performance, starting in 6th and steadily working his way up the ranks. Kreidler's pace earned him a commendable second-place finish. He showcased his talent and proved to be a formidable contender. Number 42, Jason Benson, also displayed his speed, securing a solid third-place finish. Despite a late race mistake that sent the 45 car to the hauler, he fought for a top position and finished on the podium. Daniel Schell and Marty Rogers rounded out the top 5 finishers with skillful displays of driving. The race featured 5 leaders and 13 lead changes, keeping fans on the edge of their seats. With 4 caution periods totaling 12 laps, the competition was fierce, and the drivers showcased their resilience and ability to navigate through challenging situations. The Triple Bypass Cup Series at Pocono Speedway delivered an exciting display of skill, strategy, and pure racing talent, creating an unforgettable experience for fans. We hope you enjoyed this Triple Bypass Racing recap. We'll see you next time.
you go, guys. And that was Pocono with Kyle Griesick taking a win, John Creedler and Jason Benson, your top three. But we are here for the United States Armed Forces 120. But we do have 160 laps here this evening as well. The whole of the race circuit, watching earlier on, guys, they are not above 145 miles an hour. They're never out of fourth gear, but they will have 3 sets of tyres, 1 fast repair, and we will see 3 green-white checkers at the end if we cannot get a winner at normal race lap count. Okay, so we will get 3 green-white checkers here as well. But I think you've listened to me ramble on long enough. The only last thing I have to do for you is bring you up the current score sheet here this evening as well. Jason Benson is out in front of 165 points with a total of 0 wins, 4 top 5s, 5 top 10s. Kyle Griesick in second with 159. He's got 2 wins. John Crutchley on 147 with Daniel Schnell on 129. Al Corey on 123. Marty Rogers 119. Keith Handlin 118. Joshua Kona on 107. Matt Perezzini on 100. Dustin Barton on 92. John Creedler on 92. Bill English on 91. John Campbell 88. Derek Catt on 78. Matt Herzog on 68. So you are up to date on the scores here this evening as well. But let's bring in the mighty Dean Biggles. Welcome in, sir. How are you?
Good evening. Good, thank you. So you're telling me, James, that they're never going to go out of fourth gear. So what happens when you get into pit road? Are you going to do that in fourth gear as well?
Possibly. I don't know.
Okay.
Look, I think you're being a bit pedantic on that one, to be honest with you.
I'm being a bit cheeky.
Yeah, yes. I think maybe in pit road might be different. But while you're on the racetrack, they never go above 145 miles an hour, and they don't ever come out of fourth gear. So
why not?
Well,
go quicker.
They just can't. You know, I was following along earlier on with somebody, and literally, if you have a look at Kyle Griesick, he just never ever comes out of fourth gear. It's insane that how just constant they are through fourth gear all the time, and that's the thing. And you can see on the dashboard there as well in the bottom right corner that they literally just don't change out of fourth and don't go above 145.
Well, there you have it. So if you can get 146 or 147 here, Carl, you may be at the top of the timesheets like Daniel Schnell is currently at the moment. You can see the steering wheel as you're riding on board with him, how there is a little bit of a flick to the right every once in a while. It's not just smooth operator, a little bit of kind of massive overcorrection, although the car seems a lot more steadier than what it looks like fighting the steering wheel.
I think it's just due to the fact of the nature of the circuit. I think that's the thing. They, with the length of the circuit as well, it's not very long, and I just don't think they've got that ability to bring it out and literally go full bore with it. You know, at the end of the day, it's 3/4 of a mile in circuit length. You know, 3/4 of a mile is absolutely nothing, and they're just not going to come out of it. As you can see, that even here with Kyle Griesick on the part of the racetrack on the run around that long tri-oval kind of section, he's still not topping. There you go, 143, and then he's on lifting off and slowing down. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one tonight. Hopefully we don't get, caution breeds caution and it's just caution, because that would just be a nightmare. But I'm hoping it should be nice and tidy with these 14 drivers we have on track at the moment. Welcome in Matt Perezzini. Good luck to the boys tonight, watching from family vacation. Well, there you go.
Where are you vacating, Matt?
Well, he's obviously vacated his house. Get it? No, never mind.
All right.
But
we'll get better. I promise that. There.
Yeah,
we gotta get James warmed up.
My humour at this time of the evening has clearly gone out the window. So at the end of the day. I can't help that one.
You're going to leave the bad puns to me, James. That's my job.
Well, this is also true. But we've only got two manufacturers here this evening, the Toyota and the Chevrolet. So this is going to be interesting to see. We've only got three Camrys. We've got Iris Ashbury, John Barn and Matt Herzog there as well. And the rest are in the Chevys. So it's going to be an interesting one, I think, at the end of the day. You know, short track here, Biggles. Do we think we're going to have the problems of caution breeds caution, do you think? Or do you think these guys are going to manage to keep it clean?
Very much a possibility of it. It's hard to say because sometimes those shorter tracks that they can just be a lot cleaner with the racing. You'd expect like, oh, shorter track, you know, surely there's going to be a lot more cautions. Then again, it tends to be the opposite. I'm no an expert in ovals, so that's the case. And anybody but Corey out there, says Matt.
Yeah.
Why anybody but Corey? Al Corey, is he referring to the number 45 machine there for the Chevy?
From Dallas in Texas, of course.
There he is.
He is the Triple Bypass co-founder as well, mind you. So I can't give him too much grief.
So take it easy on him.
Yeah, I've got to be nice to him, haven't we? You know what I mean? We better be nice, otherwise he'll never have us in again, and then we'll be, not doing it. But yeah, we've got to be a bit nice, Matt.
Oh, look at that. The rear end just went completely out in Oliver. That's what you're going to be. So that's a good thing about that little runoff area into the grass there. You can keep it out of the fence, turn it around, and hopefully get it pointing in the right direction again and hit that loud pedal. Listen to those engines. Up, kind of like sound like these NASCARs sound like V8 supercars in Australia as well. So I love that deep, open cylinder grunt.
Yeah, I think that would be one of the things with NASCAR for Europeans is we wouldn't just, don't get me wrong, we're obviously left and right turns and we do all this fancy jazz with the racetracks and all that sort of stuff. But I think just to go to a NASCAR event and listen just to the sounds of the engines, you know what I mean? It would be absolutely amazing, I think. it would be incredible to sit there.
They'll rattle the fillings in your teeth, my friend, as they go past that deep sound.
Yeah, but that's what
they would be notoriously horrible here in Panama City because everybody's car alarm seems to be the most sensitive things I've ever seen on the planet. As soon as there's one of those American school buses, they usually use them a lot here, and they rip off the exhaust system, so they're just huge, big, they're literally American school buses. And every time they go past cars with a really deep sound, it sets off all the car alarms. So I can imagine if you had a NASCAR race here in Panama, every car alarm in the whole city would be going off. Look at the rear end sliding again. A couple of times we've seen that now, isn't it? Out of the final turn.
But they're coming off that banking. I think that's the problem. They've got 14-degree banking down to 8 and on the front stretch and 2 on the back stretch. So when they're coming off turn 2, they've got to drop down. And that's probably a lot of where we're going to see these incidents. It is coming off that banking and down onto, as you see where we are now, where there's basically hardly any compared to going up into the corners. It's going to be insane, I think, and I'd be interested to see how these guys got on. Just a bit of admin beef, says Matt. He may have wrecked me last week. Oh, Matt. Terrible. You couldn't go and have a word with him. Terrible there as well from Al Corey. But where are you on vacation, Matt? Are you, just chilling out at home? Are you somewhere fancy?
The moon?
Mars? Yeah, moon or Mars. Elon Musk has been in contact with you and you got a seat on his rocket, whatever it's called this time. I don't know what they're going to call it this time.
You think Keith Hanlon here is
struggling
ready for Halloween?
Yeah, but he might be ready with Halloween with his livery, but he's definitely struggling on the racetrack at the moment. I'm not going to lie on that one. Yeah. He seems to be really struggling to get that car there as well. So I got a funny feeling there could be a couple of others as well that might have that same problem, I think. But coming into the last few seconds of qualifying before we can bring you up the grid here as well. So we will get this up and running underway, and we will be able to show you the grid for this evening's race. It's going to be Ben Harcombe on pole on the 22.846 with Kyle Grzyk, Iris Ashby, Keith Hanlon, Marty Rogers, Al Corey, Daniel Schnell, Oliver Turan, John Barton, John Crutchley, Dustin Barton, Mark Herzog, and then the final place is taken by John Campbell and Jason Benson. So there we go. That is everybody we have on track. 14 cars ready to go here as well, and well, I think it's going to be exciting. I've just got this funny feeling.
I don't think, yeah, were you a funny feeling? I agree with the funny feeling. John Campbell, the only Australian driver on the grid, so come on, John. Dustin, the only driver from Canada, the rest from the United States of America. Pincher Creek, and that's AB. What's the AB state again, James? I'm not sure. About 6 hours from home.
Oh, blimey.
AB? That's not Alabama.
Could it be Alabama?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know all my states that well. I've lived in the States. There's something else I wanted to say too. I was going to say that qualifying I expected to probably be a little bit closer, considering that the, in pole and P2 in the Formula One was 200 thousandths of a second between those two. We had 200th of a second, I think, between Ben and Kyle on this one. So always going to get a bit closer. Formula One get a bit closer on a track. I mean, he's messing around, of course. Easier said than done up here in the casting booth there, James. But it's not necessarily how as long as you're on that front row. And once again, too, isn't it, that the actual pole is a great place to be, but considering the slipstream you get, the side draft and things like that, and those pit stop situations, we have a car reversing up on the grid.
Yeah, I'm not quite
in the background.
sure what he's up to there. I got a funny feeling we've lost Jason Benson, so we could be down to 13 cars here, which, to be honest with you, might not be a bad thing considering the length of the circuit. I think that's the thing here. The length of the circuit might aid the fact that we've got less cars, because I can't imagine running 30 cars around here, because it would just be nose to bumper constantly. It would be a bit of a nightmare. But yeah, let's see what happens. Ben Harcombe will lead us away. Kyle Grzyk in second place. And then we've got Iris Ashby, Keith Hanlon, Marty Rogers, Al Corey, Oliver Turan, Daniel Schnell, and John Barton and John Crutchley on 9th and 10th. So pace car's going to peel in once more.
Yeah, I got that one. It's at Pincher Creek's in Alberta in Canada, so it's not even in the States. I looked it up, Matt. All right. It's not in yet, James, but should be peeled in soon. Yeah, he's in
it should
Canada.
be peeled in. Let's wrap. Oh, he's in Canada. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's why I had to look it up. I just had to find out before he told us. All right.
Well,
now, front row. Hey, take it easy, lads. 160 laps. The United States Armed Forces 120.
it's going to be interesting how the cautions work here, because it's not very wide. So I'm wondering if all them back-end spins that we saw during qualifying and practice are going to come into effect, which could be the fact that if they're still on the racing surface, they are going to struggle, and we're going to have caution after caution. But here we go, guys. Get ready. We are going to be up and running. It is green, green, green for the United States Armed Forces 120, live from Richmond, 160 laps, and we are here already on that one. Ben Harcombe, Kyle Grzyk, Irish Ashby, Al Corey, Keith Hanlon, Marty Rogers, Oliver Turan, and Daniel Schnell are your top 9 and 10 there. And once more, we're back underway, Biggles, and everything is all good for these drivers.
Yeah, they fold in pretty quickly, one by one, and just further up at the moment, you can look at the orange 55 machine going side by side of who's that on the outside, the Bud Light machine. That's and up on the inside apron goes a very slow car. It's going to be under a massive attack at the moment, and we're going to try to go around the outside, stick up on the high line. That's going to throw the spanner in the mix there too. Now, because they're going to slice up on the inside here. And we'll block the 22 essentially as he caught.
These guys running side by side around turn 2 on that run up to turn 3. They're near enough 3 wide currently at the moment. And that is Marty Rogers. There was an incident there as well. Oh!
Ooh.
First caution of the evening.
My mouse was not flashing for a caution, but it just caught that one, of course. There it is.
Yeah. Well,
Dustin, another co-founder of Corso, the only Canadian driver. He's not having a holiday in Canada at the moment. My friend, he had holiday into the fence.
Yeah, they definitely did at the moment, and this is why we're Mark Herzog, who checked up, I believe, just before the yellow flag. And I've got a funny feeling it was the 55 of Keith Hanlon who had the initial incident. And then they ended up making contact. There we go. It was actually the 57 of Mark Herzog into the 01, which was...
And then into the 32.
Yeah. So...
I think there's somebody else that also comes down. 13 spins straight into the tyre barrier, trying to avoid them.
Yeah.
Comes back out on track, and I don't quite sure if there's a tap. There it is between the 117 as well, too. They had nowhere to go on that one. So a couple of cars involved. Huge damage you can see on the 13 car. Get that dented out there, getting back onto the track.
Yeah, that must have looked spectacular in the 13 of Dustin Barton. I think that would be one to have a look and see what he sees as this this barrier is coming rushing towards him. This is on board with Barton as he's heading into the turn. There's the initial contact in front. Up he goes. Herzog into Schnell. Barton
it's going to be scary going. I'm not quite sure those little water barriers are going to help you at a high speed like that. Almost gets entered in the pit road at that point too.
Yeah, water barriers aren't filled with water in iRacing, are they, Biggles?
And they're going to stop you like a brick wall anyway. It might absorb a tiny bit, but either way, that's the beauty of the virtual world. Nobody will get hurt. Just maybe a flick of the force feedback steering wheel at worst case scenario.
Yeah, I wonder what that would be like under a direct drive wheel. Would that snap the other way? I'm wondering if it would probably look at ripping your hands off, to be honest. But
could. There's a good question out there for Matt or anybody else in the chat there. Have you ever had any of those issues with your direct drive wheel there, force feedback there, it kind of yanking your hands around when you have a hard impact?
Yeah. I don't think that's going to be the only one we're going to see tonight, I've got to be honest. Partly due to the fact that obviously the nature of the circuit, the banking here as well, the fact that there's nothing but walls either side. Well, it's going to be tough for these guys. We're on lap 7 of 160, so we've still got 153 to go here. 22 second laps given at this moment in time as well. So it's going to be, could be quite a long one if they're going to breed caution after caution here.
And I'd stay away from those walls because there is a glitch actually in iRacing for the Spa 24-hour where you just touch that pit wall just before you go up through a Rouge, and saw a car go absolutely flying upside down in every which direction possible up through a Rouge down Camel Straight, and yeah, it didn't barely even touch the wall. It grazed the wall, so there's some sort of bug that occurs on that one, my friend. It destroyed a driver's race. About I don't know how many hours in to it. With everybody going, what? Never seen that before.
It seems strange that every Spa 24 there was an issue. Last season there was as well with his tyre dipping on the grass. You know, we obviously haven't got any of that here. These guys just obviously turning left, and they've just got to worry about the wall, to be honest. Pace car lights are out this time, so we will be up and running again, hopefully, for a longer period of time than 3 laps. But we'll have to see here as well. And that's what I find really bizarre, because there is always something happening there as well. This setup was a handful, says Dustin Barton as well. I believe Dustin might be out at this moment in time, but we are up and running once more here as well. We are going to be green going again here. Once more up and running for the 160 laps. We are on lap 10. They do have 150 to go here, and we have lost Dustin Barton already. who is in YouTube chat complaining about the setup. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure who gave you that setup, Dustin, but clearly you need to have a word with them here. But we're currently with Ben Arkham out in front at the moment here, Biggles as well. And, you know, he's just got to keep it on track, really. I think that's the thing for Ben and Kyle behind as well, as we see Oliver Turan trying to nip up the outside of Al Corey. Corey not giving up that inside line. There's a slide at the back. Oh, keep it out, gentlemen. Keep it out. That was John. No, it wasn't John Campbell.
Green.
Yeah, we're still up and running. Mark Herzog again. No.
Oh, too late.
Too late.
Too soon. Geez, they're a bit slow to call that one. I don't, unless there was another collision with cars.
No,
you're teasing me right now. The In-N-Out burger right now, Mark. Oh, my. Oh, wow.
It was Mark Herzog, who second caution of the evening.
In and out. Oh, get me hungry. Okay. Anyway, I do see what's happened here to the 40 machine.
There you go. Look, it just
40 goes Lucy,
wiggle.
but there was the contact. Okay, so I was going to say that did justify a yellow, but if they didn't have contact, I would have said that you could go green. They still called it green at this point, didn't they? It was a little bit later when it did go to the caution. I see the Papa John's on the side there as well too. I'm definitely getting Papa John's after this, Sir James. Papa John's pizza.
I'm not. I'm going to bed.
I get it in and out if it was available, but it's not, unfortunately. They are going to go down to pit road and seize the opportunity. All three of those drivers, you see the 40 machine as well. So they might as well, under the caution, get a cheap pit stop.
I think the thing that they're going to have to try and contend with here is it's 9 laps since the last one. We've only done about 6 under green conditions. So Herzog has been involved twice, so he's going to have to be careful because they've only got one fast repair here as well. We could end up losing Herzog early if he happens to smash his car up again, of course. So he's going to have to be a little bit careful now, a little bit more conservative, I think, from Mark there as well. Dustin, it's just tight, had no rotation, and Matt, typical Richmond, loose in, super tight, centre, loose off, not surprised. So there we go.
Real quick as well, too, I wonder if, Justin, if you want, because I was going to say we probably might have another caution car, would you like to come and have a chat to us? If you got some time there in the next caution car. We're saying there probably will be one. So love to hear your thoughts about that. Obviously, if you have retired from the session. From a driver's perspective, right, James? And then more details about what he's explaining. Would be fantastic because they will get ready soon. You can see the 12 car is... hovering on the gas pedal like mad, trying to catch up to the rest of the pack there. We did lose Jason Benson at the very, very start. He didn't get into that car and fire it up on the grid. So, yeah. And with Dustin, as you mentioned before. So, we are down to 12 drivers, which should reduce the chances of caution cars. But, anyway, yeah, what happened to Benson? That's he just didn't get in the car. Didn't make it and fire it up on time. So, it never started the race, fortunately.
Did not start. So there we go. Pace car lights still running. We're still up under caution here. Lap 16 of 160. We are 2 cautions in here, and Mark Herzog's been involved in both of them. It was Herzog, Schnell, and Rogers and Barton in the first caution, then Herzog and Ashby in the second caution, having to come in together. So hopefully, we will get some green flag racing in. I don't think it's going to take us very long once we get up and running here, but it's the nature of Richmond in general. I think that's what's causing the issue. Terry Spain now, I've got something heading your way, James. Keep your eyes on the mail in the next week or so. Ooh. Presents.
They don't have a mail system in the United Kingdom, so I might be waiting some time.
We do. We have a postal
British
service.
Mail.
Mate, Royal, it's called Royal Mail, actually. And they're not...
Oh, I forgot, Your Majesty.
Oh, don't even go there. They're just as, they're not very good, to be honest. But
well, it'll be interesting, James. You'll have to let us know what is coming in the mail.
Yeah, I'll
Does it tick? Does it go tick, 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 tick?
Yeah. Is it going to blow up on me when I open up the envelope or whatever? When I open up the box, it's just going to go boom. It'd be like that, the beginning of Mission Impossible, where the countdown goes dun 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 dun, and then he just starts
and
then he just goes.
You can see
boom.
Ben at the moment wiggling and trying to get the temperature into the tires. The only one really doing that. You can see the other drivers just cool, calm, and collective there for Kyle on the outside. He's like, I don't need to warm up my tires, my friend. Speed will warm up my tyres, and let's get ready to go. Green flag again. There's Barney. You're going to be in the one at it sometimes tonight, and let's go.
Yeah, Ben Harcombe out in front once more here as the last of the cars go over the green flag, ready to up and running for what we're on technically at the moment is lap 18 here of 160, and they're getting a little bit squirrely and a little bit too wide back at the back here as well, with Crutchley on the outside lane running that centre lane there. John Barton slipping up the inside of Marty Rogers, so is Mark Herzog, who's himself been caught in with 2 cautions already. One more and, well, I think we may end up seeing the end of Mark Herzog if he's not careful, depending on damage, because he will be in there for a while, as it's just, you probably use his fast repairs. But at the moment it goes Ben Harcombe, Carl Griesick, Oliver Turan and Al Corey out in front are your top 4. Flying along.
Flying along in the Armed Forces 120 and lap 20 of 160. Just having a look at how the rear end's starting to slip and slide on this. Of course, not this corner here, but the next corner, the final corner coming up, the exit of that one has been catching him off that we saw during the qualifying and practice sessions. So at the moment, not catching anybody off too soon, but, you know, it's probably inevitable as they go right up close to the wall there and come back down on the inside there, not too close to your, well, right on actually, on the yellow line there as Daniel goes on the inside apron. Back up to the wall. Fast in, fast out. That's the ultimate speed you're going to get through. Look at that speed he has. He's at the lift off at the moment to not go busting into the back there of Buster's corner, the 55 machine, as you can see. Can't miss that orange pumpkin livery, the Camaro.
Yeah, bright orange there as well, and that is Keith Hanlon in front of us currently at the moment as well. We'll go racing down that back stretch here. And again, still just feathering that 4th gear, playing with that car, making sure he just holds on straight as they go round the front stretch, down into the first corner as well. And an absolutely stellar job from Daniel Schnell. Handler's run a little bit wide there. Schnell's going to try and nip up the inside. Nothing doing here. He couldn't make that inside run work for him currently at the moment. And Hanlon is now looking at going up the inside of Corey, which he has done. So Keith Hanlon there making the most of Corey's mistake of running, drifting up a little bit high on the high side.
Yeah, if you come back down on the inside apron, you can see it scrubs off so much speed when you exit the corner, as whereas you are on the high line near the fence, you just get a better exit speed out of there. So that'll be interesting if you are planning on looking to get some overtakes done later. You have to kind of get some practice on that one a few times, because, you know, when the cookie crumbles and you get down to the last, say, 10 remaining, that's when you have to start thinking about some of those maneuvers. For now, just file in there, maybe do some fuel saving, just coast it in there. You can see these two have to be working together, no doubt, because they have broken the draft down the road to P3. So definitely, there, the rear end is here. Kyle does keep it, thankfully. And as Ben as well, too, can't really afford, can he, to pull away too much there from Kyle. Otherwise, it's going to slow him down a little bit. So, yeah, there it is. Those boys, even though they are competitors on track, to have to be working together right now. Like 26 of 160.
Yeah, it is Richmond, Terry there. Terry's put a sweet surprise. So, maybe
Big Mac.
Maybe some
burger.
Might be some Twinkies.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they're getting quite a bit of a gap there. You can see the 13 car also on the track maps all alone, trying to absolutely do the best there to catch up back there of John. How come we do have the 13 car? Has Jason Benson actually gone out? Yeah, Jason Benson's actually gone out of track now, so...
It was a long way back, mind you. Yeah, he did turn up.
Got in that car.
16 laps back at the moment as well, so he's definitely struggled. But Oliver Turan leading the pack of Hanlon, Shell, Corey, Ashby, Herzog. These 6 cars have broken away about 1.8 over Crutchley. They've got about 3.3 to the guys in front as well of Griesick and Harcombe. But they've got to be trying to make sure that they can just keep this track on track. It's really... Oh, he's Hanlon Tokyo drifted it into that corner there, out of turn 2. And I'm wondering if that's where some people have been moaning about setups as well, like, you know, tight setups just don't work here. And that's the thing they're going to be looking at as well. And I think that's probably what Dustin's issue is as well. Tight in, right middle, tight or loose off, it's not sure. So clearly Dustin's car, not a comfortable car to be driving.
and Dustin just didn't think obviously it was drivable enough to be able to manage the 160 laps. Once again, hopefully, Dustin, if you do have some time and we do get another caution, look at that, rear round at the moment. You have to say Matt's also probably fighting with the machine, Toyota, and he's going to have to deal with it, my friend. If it is, buy it some flowers, take it out for a nice dinner. But if you keep arguing with it, then you're not going to get anywhere, are you? Let's try that with your girlfriend or your wife. You're not going to get anywhere arguing. Just got to learn to live and deal with the situation as is.
Just agree. Happy wife, happy life, they say. So I find it's easy to just agree here with David Chanel and Al Corey and Keith Hanlon. Chanel does look like he's on a bit of a mission here, I'm not going to lie. He's catching up to the guys in front quite quick, so I'm expecting him to be on their tailpipes very, very shortly as they're heading around on that front stretch now, coming down into turn 1, doing an absolutely stellar job with all 4 of these guys. The remaining drivers, there is 13 on track. We have lost Barton already, so let's see what happens. I think the thing is as well, we've got 33 out of 160. We're running under green, which is great for us because obviously, the laps are going by and we're seeing some racing and stuff like that. But during this period of time as well, I think they've got to work on the fact that they are, still racing, but they've got to do it sensibly to be able to stay away from the wall, isn't it? Because these walls can and will bite you if they need to.
Yeah, take your best friend and also your arch rival to be riding on board currently of Daniel Schnell. And you can see, there is contact, and that's Keith, the 55 machine going around.
Yeah, he did. Keith Hanlon. Yeah, unfortunately for Keith, he went round. Now, was that Corey behind him? It was. Corey's got on the inside. Yeah.
Just a miscalculation on the speed. Easy to do at this level of racing when you are bumper to bumper.
I think the
that might give time for Dustin. If Dustin is around to come a bit, he could give us a chat there about how it is feeling to driving these cars. Let's check to see if Dustin is around.
If not, I'll grab someone.
Grab him there, James.
Grab him. I'll go and
yank him by the scruff of the neck and get him in here.
I'll have it. Let's see who we can get. Should we try and get Al in? Because he was just responsible for that yellow. So let's see.
A couple of drivers going to pit road too. All 5 drivers are going to pit road too.
If we can have a catch up with Al Corey. Al sitting in 3rd place at the moment, mate. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
How's it going, bud?
This setup is a nightmare.
Yeah. I did see your message. I could tell that. Obviously, you and Keith had a little bit of contact for the 3rd caution.
Oh, we did. See, I didn't get any contact on my end, so that's not good. I didn't mean to do that to him.
That's right. He's been looking like he's quite loose going in, mind you. What's wrong with the setup, and how do you think you can fix it during the race?
No, nothing to be done. I did everything I could and set up changes in practice and tried threw everything but the kitchen sink at it, but it's so tight in the middle, and then you can just barely get on the throttle exiting a 4, or else you just snap loose. I think you've already seen one car do that at least.
Yeah, we've saw a lot of them do it in practice as well, and obviously in qualifying here. What are we going to take, though, to get out of this run of, laps and then cautions and then laps and then cautions? We're on the 3rd one already. We're only 38 laps in here, Al. Are we expecting this to be... Are we going to get to double digits of cautions, you think?
It's hard to say. I would bet not. I think that guys will settle down here as we go along, and some attrition maybe too. But yeah, it's very difficult to race. Everybody's just tiptoeing around.
Yeah. And what's the plan for you, Al? Top 3, top 5?
Top 3 would be a big win for me. Just trying to keep the tires under it like I always do.
All right, mate. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Al. We'll look forward to catching up with you maybe a bit later.
Great to talk to you guys. Later.
And you. So there you go. That was Al Corey.
Yeah, and another driver obviously complaining about the setups, isn't it? And how dynamic it is to changing, and how they've really been trying to tweak the setups, and how when you get it out there, it just becomes a different beast on this track. And I think at the moment the 27 car, that's Kyle, he's going to bump draft the caution car, the pace car, into the fence. Get out of my way, he says. And there it is. So they've fouled in
Yeah.
They're just waiting. Yep, the 13's now caught the back of the pack. That actually obviously gives Jason a little bit of a good chance now to try to catch up. I think he might be a lap or so down, maybe a couple of laps down, but that's at least he's on the back of the pack now and not be racing all by himself.
Yeah, that will
As
aid
well
him.
as the front two, remember, that were starting to pull away, the 27 and the 78. Now they're backed up again in the field. A couple of drivers went in and out of the pit road. We still have top three, and John Barton have yet to make a pit stop too, James. We're at 40 of 160.
Yeah, Kyle, Ben, Al, and John Barton have not pitted at all yet. Mark Herzog is back out again. He's just had a minute 2 pit stop running around there in 11th, and I think that was one of the things that we were talking about with Mark. He's been involved in 2 incidents already. You know, any repairs he's going to get done, he's got to try and get done at the same point of trying to do a pit stop, but staying on that lead lap, which he has managed to do, mind you. The likes of Keith Hanlon, Jason Benson. Oh! Jason Benson have not managed that, but we are going to be back up underway as well. Once more, green, green, green here at Richmond with well, we got 13 cars left on the circuit currently at the moment, and it is Kyle Griesick, jumps Ben Harcombe on the pin.
I think that's is that 0-1? It is. It's Daniel.
They didn't even get away.
Was it the 0-1? I can't see. It's look out for the black livery car there.
Yeah, watch him in the background.
Comes across there. I'm not quite sure if you can see the drive, the 0-1 machine. It's practically in your blind spot at that point, and comes back onto the track there. That'll just those 2 cars. No, 3 and 4 at the back. Oh, there, luckily, is that the In-N-Out Burger machine sneaks in just by a hog in the wall.
Mark Herzog again. Yeah. Mark, the thing is with Mark as well, he doesn't even need to be in his own incident. He's had 2 of his own, and then at the same time he gets caught up in this one where he's just literally sitting at the back here. We'll jump on board and see what you can see. So there's where he cuts across, and then Schnell goes up, and then unfortunately for him gets involved and then bounces off the wall. Herzog,
he just sneaks through
sneaks through, doesn't he? Holding onto that car, like, please get me through this gap. And he did manage it, but we are back under 4th caution on lap 43 of 160 here at Richmond Raceway. Not too far from the house, says Terry Spainhour. Nice. That's all right.
Excellent. And that the opportunity at the moment, I think, because Kyle leading this race and yet to make a pit stop, I think that's Bear Harcombe and Al are probably waiting to see if he's going to jump in the pit road. If he jumps in the pit road, they're going to follow, no doubt, I would imagine. But Kyle's that one that's going to make the call front, because he can't wait for the other cars to pull in, because then, oops, it's too late. He'll then be completely out of sync, and he'd have to go around there and catch the back of the pack there and be plump last, but of course a different pit stop strategy. So that's what will pan out, and then once again he's just done with that pace car and says, that's it, I'm going to become the pace car right now. Let's get that pace car racing, James, and that'll give us 14 cars back on track again.
Yeah, we get some green flag racing, that would be amazing. So hopefully we'll be able to get some up and running, some long runs in once everybody's settled down, got the grips with the car. I think that was one of the things with Richmond, is it's just the nature of your setup. I don't think people realise how important setups are at a racetrack. You know, you sit here in, especially Europe, we're the worst. We sit here and just say they turn left. You know, they don't do anything else. But clearly there's more to it, because people are struggling with the setup of the cars at the moment and just can't seem to nail them currently.
You heard Al, didn't you, when he says, you know, out of 4, he says, you just touched that loud pedal, just tap the gas, and the rear goes around on you.
Yeah.
So that would have to be, even with your pedal sensitivity, you might even want to be adjusting that one so that your throttle sensor is a lot more flexible per se than just tapping it, and allow a little bit more so you can ease it in and out a little bit and have that little bit more flexibility on your rev control.
Yeah, I think
Stuff
that's
like
the
that,
thing.
just simple. That's little setups, but make a huge difference, don't they? As you said, for a tricky circuit like this.
Absolutely, and I think that's one of the things as well. Like, I do love this name, by the way, Never-Ending Wrinkle Face. Setups are so important, and that's the thing with the way that people drive ovals. It's not just going in and bog standard. You know, there's lots of things, and some of these drivers can spend hours tuning in their setups and everything else to get ready. But I don't have the patience. Well, I'm saying that I don't drive, but I'm just saying I don't have the patience.
That's why, yeah. I mean, I in another IndyCar league, I used to cast, of course, before we can't have IndyCar anymore on iRacing. One of the drivers who is the engineer for Roman Grosjean, he goes through it, and he's a race engineer, and he goes through it, got a lot of setups with everybody in that league there. They spend days and days and days of their setups tweaking it, and he actually works on the real cars. So if he has struggling to do it in the virtual world, I'm sure everybody else is. Barney, once again, green flag.
Yeah, we're back up underway. Racing, Carl Griesick, Al Corey, Ben Harkham are leading the pack at the moment here. And straight away, Griesick opens up 4 attempts and gets out and opens up the gap. You can see a little bit of hurrying around. Ben Harkham slipping up the inside of Corey. He takes that inside lane. He's got the shorter run, of course, in distance, but he's also going to scrub his speed off. Can Corey come round on the front stretch around the outside? Currently at the moment, he's having a good old try, but he's just not going to make it through. And Ben Harkham does make it through. Marty Rogers fighting it out here as well in the 32 with the 002 of Oliver Turan. Of course, Turan got caught up with Schnell in that last one to bring out the 4th caution on lap 41. But let's see if we can hopefully keep it a little bit cleaner, get a little bit of running. And as I say that, Marty Rogers goes and hits the wall. So not an ideal place for him, and loses a place to Herzog at the same time. Just goes to show you can bounce off the outer walls, but running that inner wall line seems to bring out a caution. So they're going to have to be careful.
Yeah, you can bounce off that wall a little bit, kindly. At the moment, we're seeing a Mart Herzog in the In-N-Out, teasing me with the In-N-Out, and me and James with the In-N-Out burger. Oh. Have you ever had it? I don't think you've ever had it. Well, you haven't been in the States, so you haven't had it yet. You'll, trust me, James, you would probably go there all the time to eat if it was available. In the background, keep an eye out too, I think, is that John, actually the NOJ he has. I'm not quite sure what the NOJ is, but let us know out there if anybody does know what that is, what it represents. And he was gambling, isn't he, on the inside, but Marty Rogers there, but likes to back off there. He's got NOS, perhaps, or just says NOJ. It looks like a NOS symbol for the NOS activation system, nitrogen, isn't it? Activation system for the NOS, whatever you used to have in your cars, or could have in your cars.
Ashby here side by side with the man who unfortunately has been caught up in 2 incidents that he's been a part of, and one that had nothing to do with him whatsoever, Mark Herzog. If Herzog gets to the end, I'll be very surprised. Ooh, big snap from Ashby there. Loses positions but stays out of the wall, and he's lost 2 over Marty Rogers in front.
Out of 3 too, and not 4. Which has been catching him off.
But I think that's the thing when we were talking about coming down from that banking. Look, Oliver Turan.
Keep it pointed. Might still be green. No, it's bent the steering. Yeah, because that's why Corey had to point that one into the fence there, because he couldn't get it turned. No. Well, it might be time to grab one of the other drivers in a minute there, James, because we did have a yarn to Al. So, well, no doubt if we pull another driver and have a bit of a yarn, they're probably going to say a very similar thing is when we ask them about, how's the setup? How's the car feeling?
Yeah, I want to try and have a chat with Mark Herzog here if I can. Of course, the man caught up in 2 incidents that he was a part of, one that had nothing to do with him at all. Mark, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Not a lot, mate. Just want to talk about your beginning. Your beginning's been a bit rough here, sir, hasn't it?
Yeah, I had a little bit of a lock-up and hit the 01 and caused that kerfuffle. And then I made the wrong choice to go inside that car when he spun and he caught me.
So where are you situated at the moment with damage and repairs here, Mark? Because obviously you only get 1 fast repair. Have you used it yet?
No, not yet. I'm down to 1 minute of optional. I'm going to hopefully get that done at these next 2 stops.
Over this next cautions. And where are you aiming here for, Mark? You know, lap 55 out of 160. What's the aim for yourself?
Hopefully I can get into the top 5 if I stop hitting stuff.
Or getting hit by other stuff. When
that photo, by the way?
Yeah, they
Who's
both,
that photo on there?
They both weren't your fault, were they, Mark? Let's be real.
Oh, the first one was on me. I slid up into him. But yeah, the second one I made a bad choice. I went to the left and he continued on down that way.
Yeah. But overall, then, top 5 for you. That's the plan. And we're going to see it, aren't we, Mark?
I'm hoping.
And, well, Mark, you got the In-N-Out Burger livery on there. I've been talking about that. I presume you have an In-N-Out Burger near where you are in California. Just James hasn't ever tried it.
Yep.
James has never tried it, so he doesn't know what he's missing out on, does he? Maybe that'll give you a bit of a boost there, Mark, and hopefully, you can have a nice, clean race for the rest of it. Nice green flag racing, and make your way up through the grid and get those extra repairs done, you said.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you, sir.
Take care, Mark. Catch up with you later. Well, there we go. That was Mark Herzog, who's obviously been, as we said, been involved in a little bit of a few. He's going back in.
Extra one he said he was going to
try and take.
So it's interesting. John Barden has not boxed yet. So the leaders did box. We kind of figured that they would take that opportunity now, especially on the 5th portion. So yeah, and that elevates John Barton up into P2, but yet still yet to make a pit stop. So John probably, no doubt, hoping for another pace car soon, which probability is pretty high at this rate that we've been having.
Yeah, it's fairly likely. I like the figure as well. So, Matt Perezzini, this setup is the iRacing default setup for Richmond. Our league runs the iRacing setups for each track as it's fixed. Some are good and some are, well, this is put. It says setups is Terry then setup is the next level when you are more than just a driver. Like I said, next level. So there we go. Wish I would have made it home soon enough to be able to make it, says Josh Craner. So welcome in, Josh. Thanks so much for joining us. It would have been good
Josh,
to have
you could probably join the grid right now and still get in there
Josh, we're on
and catch up
5.
considering the amount of cautions. Yeah,
we're on caution 5
of course,
here,
you'd have
Josh.
to register. I wouldn't need to be able to get out there. But I forgot that you look at that Breaking Bad there from John Barden's livery on there. Just notice that. That's pretty clever.
Do you know there's one TV series I've not watched?
Oh, yeah, mate, you should watch that, absolutely. But it's one of those, it'd be fantastic for binge watching, mate. So if you do get sick sometime, hopefully not, mate, because that means I have to cover all the cast.
Yeah, I was going to say,
if you get sick, but if you do, that's one of those sit in bed, mate, and binge watch shows. And here we go, green flag conditions, racing again.
Back up underway, Oliver Turan out in front with Ben Harcombe and John Barton and Carl Greasy there as well. Notice that quick backtrack on that. Hopefully not, James, because I love to do all that casting. You know, the amount of casting I do there, Biggles, I don't think you've got yourself enough time in the day. But Turan, Harcombe, Greasick here as well, and it looks like Harcombe's, a little bit of a slap and slide coming off the bank in a free. And they're going to look at trying to go free wide at 1 point. No, Carl Greasick slips through as well. Turan slips back into third place, loses 2 places there as well. Herzog still sitting down in 11th with Daniel Schnell in front of him. John Campbell and Crutchley. Campbell and Crutchley are together as well at 1 point. So getting all very close here, I think, as well. So lap 61 of 160. 99 to go, so there you go.
Gambling with that wall again on the outside, as we did see John Barton dropping back quite a bit. That's got to be pretty close. This this man here, Iris Ashby's really hugging up against that wall. He's got that very Scottish-esque kind of thing. I wonder if he's got any Scottish heritage or something like that too, because you can see the I wonder if it's contact there, or if he's just holding on to it.
Yeah,
that's just loosey-goosey. You can see there, he's really having to go up against that wall there, so he's not liking to gamble too much on the inside apron there, and I think he's feeling a little bit more safe being hand, whatever working course, struggling with that setup. Oh, there's contact. Nothing he could have done about that one, as you could see.
Whoa.
He gets T-boned on the side there, and that wall's still there. We are green, James, so they deem that fine.
But what they did being torpedoed into from Daniel Schnell was fine. Okay, well done, iRacing, on that one. But Carl Griesick, Harkham here as well. And if you all get the chance to watch the series The Dirt with Carl Lawson, is it on Netflix or Disney or something? Because I don't have regular TV, to be honest.
I haven't seen that. That's interesting. I will have a chance to have a look at that for sure.
Well, we'll have to find out where it is first, Biggles.
I'll use a pirate website if you have to, James.
I don't know how to do that. We don't promote that on the JPB YouTube channel. Stop it.
Hey, if it's unavailable for you in your location, then you're allowed to. If it is available for a service that you use, then pirate it.
Oh, is that what we're saying?
Pirated it, I only pirate stuff if it's not available for you to watch anywhere.
Oh, right, okay.
That's when it's okay. If they don't make it available, that's their fault.
Yeah, definitely.
But these two going for a tooth and nail again, aren't they? Kyle and Ben just pushing each other. They're once again starting to build up a bit of a gap there down into P3. But I don't think they're worried too much about that gap there, James, because it's probably inevitable that there'll be another caution car and bunch everybody back up.
Yeah, we probably will as well. Just got some information regarding Iris. Can't fault Ashby for that. She doing her best. So Iris Ashby is actually a lady. So fair play. Thank you so much for that. Sorry if we've ever at any point got that wrong. Obviously, we wasn't aware of every driver's.
I blame James. All right. Hey, the Ladies World Cup, remember, it's on at the moment, so that's already started. I don't know, has the UK played yet as well? Too? I know USA won their first
The Lionesses won, they scraped through. Why have you not say it's my fault? I don't. What's all that about?
You're the league boss.
Yeah, but I don't have everybody's. They don't write everybody. I can't, can't put 156 genders on one little drop-down menu. It'd be a nightmare. But Corey and Turan battling it out here in 4th and 5th place. Corey looking a lot more stable than Turan does, I'm not going to lie. And Corey does manage to make it through. Now for Herzog, can he break into his top 5 with Turan currently in front of him as well? The in-and-out burger man with Turan's not looking comfortable. I'm wondering whether or not there's an issue. Obviously, he's had a couple of bits of contact, or whether or not he's just struggling on his tyres at the moment here as well. Lap 70 of 160, 80 to go at Richmond Raceway. And Mark Herzog just about, I got a funny feeling here because he's just about to break into the top 5.
We should have 90 to go, shouldn't we? We'll take. Yeah.
No, 90 to go. Sorry, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, nearly halfway through there. So just seeing, as you said, some of the drivers are nursing some sort of little minute damages on top of that fixed setup, as you said. That's very difficult, but good point out there. It applies to everybody, so everybody suffers the same on that. Some people just can manage that suffering a little bit better than others, that's all. On this circuit, and of course come to another circuit, my friend, that might be very much struggling while other drivers find it a bit easier. That's the way the cookie crumbles in the oval racing.
Yeah, I love Josh there. If they were like 20 laps in, I would have joined in for the fun. But we are on lap 73. So, yeah, not an ideal scenario with John Barton, Schnell, Crutchley, Campbell. Ashby's back in the pits again. She's been in and obviously got some repairs done, and clearly went back out and didn't feel the car was done properly, and is now back into the pits again here once more. But Griesick and Harkham still out in front, 0.3 separating them. But this is the Barton, Schnell, Crutchley, Campbell battle here. Oh, he's going to slip underneath. Schnell's going to go run that inside line. The door was left open by Barton there. He just ran up a little bit high coming off free, and that allowed Schnell underneath him. I think Crutchley's going to do the same as well. Is this the time for Barton? As his tyre is absolutely shot here, Biggles.
They are aware of it, aren't they? I think they can see that John Barton is struggling up there on the high, so they're taking the gamble up on the inside there, and knowing that he's going to leave just enough room so that they can come back out, as you can see, John. And that's good that John is just keeping with it at the moment, so perhaps another caution there, so either get some fresh boots if he has cooked those tyres.
Oh, Crutchley with a big snap,
That's okay so far. Green, cross fingers that we continue to get that. This is that pack at the moment that's here. And then you've got a little bit, look at your track map at the moment, then you've got P6 alone, P4 and P5, and then P3's starting to break away for them alone. And of course 1 and 2 still at it, tooth and nail. Kyle and Ben. So that'll be interesting to see what sort of gains that they can get when they're breaking the slipstream. It's not a super speedway, so it's not as punishing as it would be on a longer track, but still, you are alone, you're not getting any slipstream.
No, I've got a funny feeling Hanlon here is trying to make up a lap currently at the moment. He's right tucked up behind Barton, who clearly is struggling, as we've seen. So I think Hanlon might be lucky to get a lap back here. He'll do with probably another caution if he can get one. Same with Ashby. She could probably do with one as well. But Griesick and Harkham are probably wishing they don't have one. So let's see as we're running now for the last 25 laps under green.
82.
25 laps running under green.
Oh, 25, I was going to say. Yep, there we go.
Since
Good
the
job,
last
thank you, James.
that's okay. Since the last caution on lap 53.
My stream deck's, I'm like, my stream deck is wrong here. What's going on? But they're going for it. Yeah, Iris HB, she's still in pit road for some time doing this repair. It's not a bad idea. You might go down a couple laps, but if that car is too undrivable, she'd be in the fence anyway and with more damage. So I'd say it's just better to hammer her out, bend the steering shaft a little bit in whatever direction there. With a coat, tear off strip there. A new fresh coat of paint. Get back out there when you can.
I think some of these drivers are going to have left a little bit of paint here on Richmond, I'm not going to lie, as well. So we have seen one go into the water barriers on pit X entrance. But it is here with Harkham. He's trying to give Griesick the thought process that he needs to be trying to be strong here. I think they're trying to save their tyres. But from Griesick's point of view, having this big gruffing Camry right behind him, it's got to be under pressure. He's got to be feeling it, surely. And you know, with Griesick in the car, he's no slouch. He's a clever lad, I'm sure. And at the end of the day, he knows what he's got to do. But the fact that you've still got someone chasing you always brings in that fear that something can happen. And I think that's one of the things that these guys are going to have to watch out for. Harkham's going to be looking at running up the inside. He's got his nose alongside currently at the moment. As we're in turn one, they are literally side by side. 1 and 2. Now can Harkham hold the inside for 3 and 4? Not this time. Griesick just runs that high line. Harkham runs that bottom line once more to try and tuck in if he can. And now we've got a separation. And again, Griesick holds on. Just couldn't quite make it through there, Biggles, on this time.
This is definitely a preview to come towards the end of the race, no doubt. They continue at this pace between these two. So probably some little early testing on overtaking opportunities and also what you're going to be doing for defensive opportunities when it does get bowed down to the business end of this race. You can see when you're on board the steering, yeah, really flirting with the wall there. You can see when you're on board the steering in the cockpit before there, James, how much you cannot see that car on your other side. Now, defensive drivers using VR and what sort of racing rig that they have set up, but not a lot of vision on the cars next to you. So you're probably just trusting in your virtual spotter, isn't it? In the simulation that tells you outside, you know, or left side, inside. I don't know. I'm not a driver, but that's what they do, right? Don't they? They tell you that.
Yeah, I'm not a driver, but yeah, is that what they do? Yes, they do. They normally, it depends on the standards of the spotter that you can get. Obviously, you know, you can run the iRacing spotter, which just says outside, stay on, you know, is on your outside, or you can get the more fancy ones. I think DRE does one where it tells you he's on your rear right quarter panel, he's on your rear right door, he's on your rear front quarter panel, and all of this sort of fancy jazz. So it gives you a rundown of where the car actually is in conjunction to you. So there's a lot of different variations of spotters and what everybody uses. Some people will run two, some will run the iRacing and crew chief together. It's just try and maximise, I think, their potential of being able to spot damage or that contact or that person on the outside, because it does get quite difficult, especially when you're kind of like this with Daniel Schnell and Oliver Turan and Crutchley and Barton, because obviously they're all in that mix together, so it does make it difficult. And obviously with the likes of Iris Ashby in there at the same time, the 41, it's gonna, the 40 car, sorry, it does get complicated. So some people do run two spotters at the same time to try and get the maximum amount and that maximum attention.
Yeah, you see, Jabs, I didn't know that. I mean, I only knew about one spotter. I didn't even know you can get other spotters. There probably might even more, isn't it? Maybe some aftermarket ones, some plugins that you can get, but
there's probably
you're going to need them. Certainly in racing like this, wheel to wheel, more than you'll need it in, I guess, in road racing and stuff like that too, because especially with these cars, you can see, look, they don't even have errors mode on the cars.
No, the arrow they have got is on that rear left. You can just see the perspex that runs over the right door. Let me see if I can show you a little bit more here. If you have a look on the left hand side, there is a slight little bit of perspex, and that is basically where any arrow is coming from. You can't really see it, unfortunately, here because the cameras just can't guide it. There's a little perspex line that runs down on that white bar in the top left hand corner. You can just see the shadow of it. That's probably about as much as they're probably going to get with that little diddly rear wing they've got as well. So yeah, it's there's not a lot. They're more referred to as house bricks on wheels, to be honest, than actual race cars of any sort of standard downforce or anything like that, because there just generally isn't any. Schnell and Turan.
Yeah, Oliver, I was going to say, this is close between these two, and right up against the wall, you can see on the outside is 01 machine of Daniel, and Oliver just tuck in behind there. So that's the 01 machine and the 002 running in order of 01 and 02 for them, of course, but not in order of this race. Kyle's still in the head there of Ben, and followed by Marty Rogers. See how Marty had that little bit of a breakaway before in that P3, but now he's been caught up by Al, because he was trying to break all that air by himself. So he needs Al to catch up to him here and give him a nice little tow along.
Yeah,
so perhaps they can work on trying to catch the fast two up the road.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that they've got to be looking at doing. We talk about it as well numerous amounts of times, and I'm normally having a good old chat with Kenton about numerous amounts of things, whether or not running on their own, are they going to be wanting to run is a two, is it going to really cause them an issue if they're running on their own? Because some circuits, like the likes of Charlotte, Daytona, if you're running on your own, you're done for. It's a struggle to even remotely catch up to the pack. But here at Richmond, it seems that you can break away, and then you can also run on your own and maintain the time. I don't know whether or not the draft is as strong here at Richmond as it is at other places. There isn't really a massive amount of track layout for them to be able to get a good old tow. You know, you haven't got very long. So I'd be very surprised if the draft does play a massive effect here.
I think it's not as bad because it's not a super speedway, so the track's not as long. That's one for the chat. Please let us know if you have driven this. That's another thing too, isn't it, James? When you're driving, you got to be driving it in race conditions, because if you're just running around doing laps yourself, practice, you're not experiencing any of that. You've got to be out there with other cars around and doing one of those, perhaps like open lobby, call them open lobby races, you know, where you're just jumping in there and practicing with other people, which is more difficult too, because, you know, when you have randoms in a lobby, there's a good chance there's a lot of accidents as well too, because, you know, it's not a serious league race at that point. So that's another one that's going to be very hard to test with, I'd imagine, practice, because of that reason. So anytime you're in a league race like this, it's crucial just to get all those laps under your belt.
Yeah, definitely
so even if you are so many laps down, you're out there. Like Iris is out there, thankfully. Yes, she has returned back out there. And also, as somebody mentioned out there too, you know, it's crucial in the championship not to miss too many of them for the standings.
That is it as well. Obviously, you know, drop weeks play a part and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you've got to be in it. They say in it to win it. Well, if you're not, you can't always be, you know, here. Don't get me wrong, when you're coming into the summer and you've got holidays and all this other jazz that goes on as well. But you've got to try and at least make a few during that period of time, I think. And some of these drivers are going to struggle. John Barton is he is just sliding down the field. He's lost a place to Campbell as well. And unfortunately for Barton, I would be looking at, you know, getting rid of what I've got on my axles here and get some new ones, because it's definitely not working out for Barton at the moment, as he's dropped all the way down into 10th place currently here and that's Keith Hanlon, the back marker. Of course, Barton is battling the 117 of Campbell, the Dunkin' Donuts livery, or the Krispy Kremes, I should say. So,
yes, it is interesting, isn't it now, James? Because you're getting deeper in this race, so having some fantastic green flag racing. You could see them bunching up there, a little bit of a speed difference between some of them, because that's a matter of how you've been nursing, taking care of those tyres. And because they haven't had a caution, by saying it now, something's going to happen, James. But because we've had nice green flag racing, they get to a point of how are these tyres working out. This is the first time they've had such great competitive laps. So that's when the tyres are going to start going a little bit pearl-shaped, and more and more of those left to go too. And maybe not another caution car. So he'll have to take them to the end, perhaps, or we have 57 laps to go. I doubt anybody can take it to the end. Not quite sure, James, but they still have a driver out there, John Barton. As you said, this driver, he still hasn't boxed the whole race.
Well, that's
He's the only one.
Oh, Crutchley get the slide on.
So, and not too bad. He's really nursing it, but we've got to give it to him, mate. He's definitely the tyre tester here this evening. I'm not sure if they're using Firestone tyres, whatever, or Michelin. I don't know what tyres they do use, but he's got to be careful on the inside line, I think, because it scrubs so much of the speed. You see the rear starts to slide a little bit. He needs to take care of him.
That's Grzyk there as well, number 27, your leader, is basically lapping these guys, as is Ben Harkham on the right-hand side of the screen.
Oh, yeah, Ben's got caught out the wrong end of the stick on that traffic too, didn't he?
Yeah. It
there
definitely
he is,
didn't
just
go,
back there.
It didn't go well for him trying to come through all the back markers on that one, I'm not going to lie. And now, Crutchley is slipping and sliding. He's going to have to be careful. I'm very surprised, Barton, if that is right, that he hasn't pitted still. He's managed to take these tyres on to 108, because
that's damn impressive.
Some going 108 laps on a set of tyres. But
yeah, as I said, they must be baked my friend right now, but he's doing it. This is currently at the moment those two. So, Kyle's gone in. So will anybody follow Kyle in, a race leader? I don't think so there, James. Has he gone in all alone? He has. Now, that's going to be a bit of a gamble, because where's he going to come out? There is a good spread of cars out there, so there's probably a good chance he might come out and get a tow. Mark's gone in as well. So this is amazing. These guys have gone in for their second pit stop for them, and then you've still got John Barton out there going, pit stops? Who needs them? Come on.
He must have been in.
I'm still showing. Are you showing zero? It's language on your data?
I'm still showing zero,
I'm
but
showing
he
zero. I
must
don't
have
remember
been
him
in.
going in.
I don't remember going in either. Barton is literally, according to the pit stop strategy in the bottom right-hand corner, 108 laps on the tyres that he's running currently at the moment. Everybody else has stopped at least 2 or 3 times.
You could see the driver's the driver around him, literally, but that's straight into the fence around the outside there for the 5 machine. But, because he's just really gingerly driving on those tyres. But
why has he not gone in? I don't understand.
I don't know how he's... Anybody can clarify out there in the chat, because I didn't think it'd even be possible. It's got 50... What if he can go 50 laps and just go all the way to the end?
Well, he's only got 49. What's he got, 49?
Yeah.
49 to
yeah,
go.
might as well give it a test, my friend. See how far you can push him.
Surely he can't get there on what he's running in the tank.
Kyle's now coming after that pit road excursion. And he's come out in P8. Now, where is he on that track map? There. So he did come out just ahead. In fact, where he's come out is just ahead of the race leader right now. Look at that, James. So, did you imagine Al Corey, who is in the race lead right now? What happened? Did also Ben?
Ben's
in P2? They boxed as well?
Ben's boxed as well.
Ben. Yeah, okay. So...
That's why he's just going around Al Corey now, like as if Corey was stood still, because obviously
that's right.
Ben's probably on fresher boots at this point as well. So he's going to be able to drive around a lot of people currently, just because of the way the nature of the tyres. Crutchley's now in. He's had a couple of slides here. Campbell, Schnell and Turan are your 3, 4 and 5. But
that's a nice little push of the pit road, and Trent's That's what's caught off there. So John's gone around there full speed, the Melbourneite from Australia, and there was a car slowing down to head into pit road there, wasn't it? And that's what John's done. John Campbell's going, all right, mate, give you a little nudge into pit road. There you go. So thankfully, no caution, still green flag conditions, and that was Daniel, I think, who got a little nudge in there.
Good night, Terry.
To pit road.
Terry is off. He said, good night, James. I have to call it a night. Good race drivers. So Terry is off for the evening. Have a well-rested, sir. We have only got 45 to go here, and currently Corey is out in front with Marty Rogers and Oliver Turan, Campbell, Barton, Griesick and Harcombe. Of course, a lot of drivers have taken pit stops here. Barton, I swear, is must have. Either that or he's I don't know what he's up to, but he's doing something in that car.
He's got the hard compound on. So you can imagine now that Kyle and Ben are the quickest two drivers on the track after that pit stop, and they're going to have to navigate their way through 5 of those cars up the road, depending if those other 5 cars do box with 44 laps to go. Once again, they don't have to, because John can go out there for all that time. But they will lose that pace. There's on the inside apron. That is Daniel. That's come out. He's gone back in again, so probably doing some little repairs, I'd have to say there, James, because you wouldn't come back in the pit road for a second time unless you're looking at getting something fixed.
Yeah, 42 laps on the clock now remaining. Now Corey, Marty Rogers are your 1-2. Griesick, Harcombe. Further back, your... Would you say they're on-track leaders currently at the moment? Because technically the leaders are coming up to nearly lap these guys. But would you say theoretically once the pit stop cycles come out, it would be a Griesick Harcombe fight once more?
If the pit stop cycles come out, with 42 to go, yes, they would be. There's Kyle going around John Barton. And we know John's not going to put up a fight like that at the moment because...
It's just not got
coasting it along there on those tyres.
It's got nothing to fight with.
Yeah, and so we'll see. There's Ben. He obviously makes his way past there as well. It depends on because the pace on them too. They have time. That's the good thing about, I guess, boxing that little bit earlier is that it gives them enough time to try to catch those leaders. In case any of those leaders out there do elect not to stop, they will have time to get O-takes on track. Now, if they do stop, of course, it's going to be an easier ride there. But for both Kyle and Ben to continue back their battle for P1 and P2, where they were the majority of this race. And there they are, together, isn't it? Like Siamese twins. You can't separate these two. I can't wait to see the battle between them towards the end there too, James, because you know that's when they're going to really start going for gold.
Some information there from Daniel Schnell. I think he got a penalty for speeding.
That might be the reason why he went back around again. But he's sitting in there for some time now. And unfortunately, Irish, she's gone back in again too, James. So she's spent quite a bit of time there for some repairs, and she's gone. Didn't see anything happened to her car or not, but she's back into pit road there for the 40 Toyota.
No, just drove in on her own. So Harcombe's just gone past Campbell, is now setting his sights after Griesick, of course, up in front of him. There is Harcombe. There is Griesick underneath in that blue and white 27. With Corey and Rogers breaking away at the front at the moment. And they're not really being closed in on, which is quite an interesting thing. They've got about a 10-second gap to Turan. Harcombe and Griesick about a further 11 seconds, I believe, give or take, from the lead at the moment. So it could possibly get to an Al Corey win, you know.
Yeah. And Al, we had a chat. I had a yarn to earlier. I remember Al had a couple of little moments to start the race. Well, a lot of drivers have. Some of the drivers actually have had quite an event-free race. But I remember Al said, he's hoping for a top 3 would be good. Well, he could be looking for a race win there, Al. But it'd be interesting. Obviously, we're not going to pull drivers in when they are driving full speed and concentrate. It'd be interesting to ask them, wouldn't it, say, are you going to be boxing again, Al, Marty?
Well...
You know that Kyle and Ben won't, and they're P3 and P4.
If you're looking at the fact that Barton's managed to go now 126 laps.
I'm happy he goes to the end now. I'm happy he just doesn't box just so
that we can
prove that he could do it, so that we can find out if he has done the whole race on that one set of tyres.
Surely not. They get free
And
to
then we'll
play
know
with.
in the
Well, I
future
don't know.
that you can.
He gets free to play with. I'm sure he hasn't been. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't.
He
want
might just be like, you know what? I just no. I don't like this setup with this car. I can't keep the super pace up. I'm just putting words in his mouth at the moment. I can't. Oh, there's a big speed difference coming in, as you can see, the 37 onto the back of the 48. But it could be like I can't find the pace. I'm not happy with this setup. So what I'll do is that I'll just back off a little bit, and just go until the tires break or blow up for giggles, for kicks and giggles, because you remember, still points, for finishing the race. So why not? And he is P7, so it's not like he's being lapped by everybody multiple times.
No, I am a bit worried about Corey. He's just getting swept apart at the moment by the back markers of Herzog and Crutchley. Of course, Corey is your winner. He's got your leader, Marty Rogers and Carl Griesick. Griesick's closing time as if it's just, him eating a birthday cake here, and it's all going down rather quickly, because he is literally catching up to Marty Rogers and Al Corey very, very quickly. So if they can hold on, well, I don't think they will. Last time out for Corey was a 24.3. Griesick was on a 22.97. So almost 1.4 seconds Griesick's pulled out over the guys in front of him on that last lap alone. So there's
Al needs
Marty
to catch up and push him.
Yeah, they need
Marty
something.
Rogers more. He needs him. Yeah. Otherwise, he needs this traffic that he's coming up with as well. So you can see on your track map, that's that one. So he needs to push from behind and hopefully get a tow from the ninth place, Crutchley, soon. That will help him and continue that battle up the road there, because, it's inevitable on the track map. Number 3, Carl Gresh and Ben Harcum are going to be arriving in your mirrors anytime soon, the next 20 laps, if they continue the way it is right now without pit stops for them.
Yeah, they're going to be popping you'll see them into the picture as well very shortly, because they are now. You can just possibly catch them in the background. There's Griesick, there's Harcum. So they are closing them down. He's gone into the pits.
Hey, John's out. Eventually. No, he's going into pit roads.
Barton's
Finally.
Barton's into the pits. Yeah.
Oh, a caution.
Oh, he's going to be
just like
saved.
that, James. So is that actually going to pay out perfectly there from John?
Probably, to be fair, because he was on.
He's only pit stop right on the queue when there is a caution. I couldn't see what happened. Caution caused the caution. We'll find out, Bob.
It does say Keith Hanlon, but we'll have to have a seat here and see whether or not it was Keith.
Is it the rear end sliding there? Doesn't look like it.
No, watch him bounce off the wall.
There it is. Okay, you're right. Ooh. Now, hopefully, it doesn't have any contact with anybody else. He does keep it out of the fence. And I don't think that should be a caution in the virtual world, because it's not unsafe or anything like that. But, the rules are the rules in this. Now, wondering if Al's going to go in, Marty's going to go in here. Or they're going to like to stay out with 27 to go.
Well, they've both been at it since lap 54.
They're going in.
Yeah, they're going in. Griesick's coming in. Harcum's coming in.
They kind of threw it off. I wanted to see if they could go to the end on that one. Well, now we know that they're going to have... They're not gambling, isn't it? The top 6 are not gambling. But actually, it's quite amazing, because Kyle and Ben have gone in anyway. So they've elected... Might as well get some fresh boots there, James.
Mm-hmm.
So that we're not under massive attack towards the end of the race, and hopefully we'll get a good 20 or so lap sprint to the end.
Yeah, you're going to see Corey put his car up here. There's one side. Everybody will do this. Yeah.
Throw the... Do you see the picture? There's a picture of somebody on the back of that pit board.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know.
I saw that before.
Now, this could play into Corey's hands now. Because he was leading, wasn't he?
Yes, for sure.
And that's the thing. Crutchley's just gone past Herzog and is now sitting in 5th. Herzog's just on the edge of where he wants to be. Ashby's still just gone, I believe, back into the pits. Benson as well. Barton's got fresh boots, but he is registering as a lap down at the moment. So for this man here, this could play out really, really nicely for him. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, considering the other 2 drivers, that would have been his greatest threat there, Carl and Ben, they boxed. So now, even we do know that they have the pace, will they have the pace again once everybody's back on fresh boots? Because obviously before, Al and Marty obviously were a scrub set of tyres and starting to wear them down. Now it's all evens for essentially everybody, I'd say, that have been into pit road at the moment. So we essentially just reset the 100 and X amount of laps that we've done already, and we're back to 0 again. Just in a different order.
Pretty
for
much.
The positions on the grid.
Yeah, we're having been reports here from Matt Perezzini.
Michael on the pit
Michael
board.
Waltrip.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
I knew it. I didn't know you can actually put a picture on your pit boards like that. So I wonder why more drivers don't do that. Put some funny pictures and things like that up there. That'd be pretty cool. Customize a little bit.
iRacing would be having
at each other.
Mate, they would have a nightmare if you had that on your pit board. Customizable photos. There would be all sorts of things.
Well,
going
they are
on.
Obviously, because you can.
Yeah,
it's the first time I've seen that.
I'm not saying they can't. I'm just
saying
saying it would be a nightmare for iRacing to police that.
Oh yeah, of course. It'd be up to the drivers to be respectful. Of course, in leagues they will. Whereas James will pull the plug and say, "No."
Hey, you got to be a little bit careful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Broadcasting rules and all that fancy jazz that we have to go through as broadcasters to make sure we stay in.
You'd have YouTube knocking on your door saying, "Naughty boy, I don't want that."
Well, that and iRacing's own broadcast rules as well, to be honest. But right,
Mark's
23
into pit road.
Yeah, Herzog's in. I think he's going to lose the opportunity of getting into the fifths at the minute.
So your lap cars can't overtake, James.
Yeah,
so
they
they're
did.
going to say.
Yeah, they did already.
Did?
Yeah, the lap car's overtaken. So.
All right, excellent. So John Barton will be in P9. He can make up some great places here, and he's going to be loving those boots, isn't he? He's like, thank God I got tyres, I got grip. Let's go, green flag. 32 and 45 this time. Al and Marty leading it, and then Kyle and Ben on the second row back there have been battling it out. Will they make their way past and potentially win this race? We'll find out in 22 laps to go, James.
Yeah, this is going to be a full sprint to the end now with Corey, Grizik, Harkham and Rogers, with Campbell as well. There's somebody in the wall. Somebody's in the wall in the back there. I'm wondering.
Still green.
I think that might have been Schnell, but we are still green. Grizik grabs the ball by the horns and takes the lead. Harkham's going to follow him through. Corey's out of the way on the right-hand side. I'm surprised he's not trying to put more pressure on Harkham. Make him run that outside line if he can. Oh, there's another big snap of the back by Ashby. Goes nearly off as well, but now we're back up underway where we was last time. Grizik and
Look
Harkham.
at the pace of Kyle. Yeah, just straight on. Oh, that's off in the... I think that's John. That is, I just saw the front of his car. Yep, he keeps it going, absolutely. And there's a bit of a switcheroo as well. So Al's making his way back up. 4 positions gained there from Al. He wants to get himself a nice podium position, but he's going to have to deal with Oliver now. Oliver Turan, Kyle, Gurish, Marty's just hanging in the background too. So any of these 5 drivers at the moment have a possibility of winning this race. No doubt, if we do keep on these green conditions, they're starting to form a little bit of a pack away from P6, I think, and P7 down the road there, James. So, that's off. That's the Bud Light 22 car, 32 car. And as you keep it out of the fence, we should be green to go. It's on a safe line once again.
No.
I know. Yeah, iRacing has to deem that. Is it because he backed up onto the track?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
As soon as he got it over that yellow, he was up on the flag.
Well, I think that you're going to elect to stay up now because there's no point, I'd say, on putting... Because they just put those boots on. We only got a handful of laps in. And it's going to be a big decision on Ben's shoulders right now as he's the lead car. He's the one that makes the call. If he goes in, he might see a gaggle of cars follow him in. If not, he stays out. I'm pretty sure they may stay out as well. Unless somebody has any of those optional repairs to fix right now that are left.
Yeah, Michael Waltrip apparently is a former NASCAR Cup Series driver who is a 2-time Daytona 500 champion.
Oh.
No, I didn't know that.
Very impressive.
I know. Matt there bringing me up to date with all my NASCAR knowledge. I tell you, working alongside Kenton, you do end up learning quite a lot. Not going to lie, the guy is a little walking encyclopedia of NASCAR information.
Why is John allowed to go around the pit car then?
Because he's been lapped. He was the first car that's been lapped.
Okay, I thought they unlapped themselves in the last time around, but...
No, that was certain.
No, okay.
Obviously, John was in the pits at that point, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
So...
Yeah, you're right about the oval racing because you and I aren't as knowledgeable, are we?
No.
On that.
No,
Or,
I think that's the thing, though.
road racing.
With what we do is an interesting thing because we do a broad spectrum of leagues and a broad spectrum of cars and a broad spectrum of racing. You know what I mean? It's a lot to try and take in and remember. Like I have to write things down. Like I've got a memory of a goldfish, and if I don't write it down, I completely forget what's gone on. And I write literally everything down, the cautions, everything, who's done what, whatever else, but purely because I have to, because we can't remember everything.
Are you like Dory out of Finding Nemo?
Mate, yeah, pretty much. Basically, if I don't write it down, I can't, unless I then go back and watch the broadcast back again the day before I'm due to do the league again, I won't remember what's gone on. Whereas if I've got it all written down...
That's my problem too, James. I guess it's just time. I always watch the broadcast back after.
Yeah.
So when I'm usually just working and stuff like that, I always have it running just to make sure too that, I'd make mistakes too as a caster and things like that too, so that we can always improve to get better on the JB Broadcasting Network. So that's what I do, make notes. But it'd always be better, wouldn't it, to be watching it a couple of hours before the race so that you really are refreshed. Try to get a chance. I love the recaps that they do, don't you? They're brilliant that you get here at the Triple Bypass. So just watching some of those fantastic recap videos can really fulfill us in with a lot of information.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think the recaps are good there as well. Event-free racing is boring as dirt, but these cautions feel like they last forever. I do agree with you, Benson, there as well. It's good for close fights, though. It is. Happy to help, fellas. Still would rather be on track with the boys racing and putting on a show for y'all. Well, Matt, I'm sure your partner, spouse, wife, other half, whatever you would like to call them, probably on a family vacation is... probably not happy with you about now. You've just said
look at James when he had his vacation in Spain. He wasn't even allowed to touch his phone.
No, I wasn't allowed at all.
I think for an hour a day, if that, you had to get a chance to look at your phone. Then your wife's throw that straight in the safe and not give you the combination.
My missus literally at one point checked in on a broadcast for me because I wasn't allowed.
There you go.
She wrote in YouTube chat. So yeah. Because I wasn't allowed.
Yeah, well, it was good. Well-deserved break, my friend.
I know.
Surely you're going to need another one and sometime.
By the beginning of
maybe
next year.
before Christmas, I'm not quite sure. Or maybe around the Christmas break.
Christmas break.
A lot of
would be
leagues
nice.
will
hopefully.
Will kind of shut down for Christmas. Here we go. Green, hopefully get to the end. We got 14 to go, James. And once again, we're back at it. And Al, Oliver and Kyle. P1 to P4.
Yeah, here we go. Ben Harcombe, Oliver Turan, Al Corey. Mark Herzog there has broken into his top fives like he wanted, but he's now got to try and stop Kyle Griesek going through as well. He has nipped under the back in the inside of Herzog here, but now he's got a two wide with Al Corey and Oliver Turan to try and contend with. Further up in front of him, he needs to get onto the back of Harcombe. 12 to go. You're going to find out in about another 3 or 4 minutes if it all runs as it is at the moment. Who's going to take this victory here, Biggles? And it's going to be a close run.
Anybody if they can. I thought Ben got a really good launch off that one with a little bit of a gap there, and he has. So up to his further pitches at the moment here. Who wants to take that final possible podium position between these two drivers? It's surprised of Al because he dropped back a little bit too. A little scrape on the wall that's going to into the inside fence and across, and it's going to take out a couple of drivers. Nothing he can do as a passenger at a massive pile up there.
Yeah.
10 to go too, James. So there's going to be a sprint to the end. Let's get a replay of that one, isn't it? It's just
mate,
straight on the inside fence and then straight back
loose,
out.
didn't he? But Herzog, it was horrendous. He
Cold the tyres, of course, isn't it? Because they've come back out in full speed conditions. And here it is here. It's a snap and bang, and then it goes straight. You see, he's trying to turn it right, but that steering is bent. And at that point, he's just a passenger and looking at all his cars into him. Thankfully, John there managed to avoid that. John Barton, because he's up to P5 now. You got to give it to John. He can come out of nowhere and win this race, James. But 10 to go.
That had Herzog, Corey, Campbell, Crutchley and Benson all involved in that.
And now, if they've used their fast repair up or not, I don't know how many of them are visiting pit road.
Well, Mark,
you might have some damaged cars, aren't you, to go with 9 to go there, just limping across the road, perhaps the line.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's the thing. Oh, says never-ending wrinkle face. No! Closely followed after. So, well done. As well. Never-ending.
Like Darth Vader, that they added that into the sound effects. No!
Luke, I am your daddy. I think that would have been a better line, to be fair. Instead of Luke, I am your father. He should have said, Luke, I am your daddy. That would
I'm
have
your
been
papa,
better.
Luke.
Yeah. Papa Luke, don't worry. Right, 8 to go. We're going to have another lap and a bit, maybe under the pace car as well. It takes us down to about 7. Straight run then to the end for a lot of these drivers. Al Corey coming out the pits is now down in 9th place.
So we won't have another caution, will we? We should just go. If your car's flying upside down into the fence and into the grandstand, you still go.
Well, no. And
I think.
No. Basically, they'll have a caution, up until the third lap. It's only when they go white flag that generally leagues won't have cautions. So if they're white flag, it's a straight run to the end, regardless if there crashes. But
okay. So Mark's in, Al's in too. So that's going to drop Al's chances back a little bit because he was right up there battling it out for a top 3 position, and now still in the pit road. Are they going to lap him? See, he's
there he is
still in the pits, not exiting yet. So I think they're going to pull a lap on him there.
Yep. Everybody everybody down from 9th onwards have been lapped currently. So 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th.
I think this is Ben's moment here to get this race win. You can't take it away from Oliver.
Or Kyle, I think that's the
as
thing.
well. There's 6 positions gained there for Oliver. He was a quiet achiever for that 002 machine. He's always been in there. Hasn't been at the front running for much of this race. However, he's just been back there. And once again, it only matters. And there's a few more laps to cross the line where you finish. Kyle, of course, it's definitely one to look out for the 27 machine. He can get a good launch there, and he can possibly be back challenging Ben again. And, you never know. Marty Rogers in the background there got a couple of positions gained too on that last one. He was battling it out with Al. So, and of course, well, you could also go on a wild shot with John Barton there, Mr. Tyre Tester himself.
You could do.
To take the race win.
Well, we're going to find out, hopefully in about 6 laps' time here, who's going to get it. I've got a funny feeling. I'm going to write down my prediction.
Yeah, chat your predictions real quick there. Quick. We'd like to know your predictions. James is going to give us his prediction.
I think Harcom's going to take this.
Yeah. I get a feeling. I don't know.
He's got already.
I think if he doesn't get a good launch and get away there, I would keep an eye out for Kyle. Because look at that. Kyle got a good launch as well, too. Unfortunately, not a very good launch there from Oliver. He bogged down just a little bit. Might be under attack there in the background. But look at that. Ben, one of those fantastic launches again. So it's up to Kyle now to try to get within the slipstream because you've got 5 to go. Go very, very quickly. Blinking, you're going to miss this one, James.
You definitely are. 5 laps now on the run in with Ben Harcombe, Kyle Griesick, Oliver Turan, Marty Rogers are your top 4. And it is going to be, I think, Harcombe's race to lose here. He's got barely 4 laps remaining now, Biggles. This is it. This is the job. This is the moment where they've just had 8 cautions, 156 laps, and it all comes down to
we might have another one.
4.
Somebody's off. Into the fence on the opposite side of the pit road. It's green to go. Yeah, here we go. So it is. Yeah, it's Ben's moment to lose this one. It's just got to be cool. Don't let the rear end step out too much. Anything right now, Kyle has to give it everything, isn't it? He has to get as greedy as he can on the loud pedal and just hope that Ben makes a mistake with 3 to go.
Yeah, definitely now 3 laps under the belt, and now Kyle Griesick looks like he could be under attack from Oliver Turan here as what he had at the same time. Here's Griesick just cooked everything he had, and it's all just gone as we're on the final 2. 44 seconds, less than a minute. You're going to find out who will win at Richmond here. And I've got a funny feeling it is going to be Harcombe who's going to take this victory. He's going to come around now. 1 to go. We're going to be on the final lap. Final lap of running, that's it. Ben Harcombe is going to take this victory. Can Griesick hold on? Can Turan hold on? And in about 15 seconds time, we are going to find out here
Oh, and there's your in and out burger car in the background now. Mark is going to not do it, but Ben Arkham is your race winner here from Richmond. Gets the job done for the 78 machine.
Yeah, it definitely does. Carl Griesick in second, Oliver Turan now as well. Campbell just gets out-muscled a little bit by Crutchley there and Herzog. So Campbell does finish in front of them though. And it was Barton who had gone one pit stop through the whole race. Takes fifth place. Unbelievable.
Who was it there? If you can have a look at the replay real quick, I think it was Mark Herzog that got Twirly Whirly out of this. You can keep an eye on that machine as well. And he loses it here and drops these places. And there's that. Well, it was a little bit before. That's the 0-1, and here it is. Here, I think this is where Mark, if this is the final lap, he drops it too and drops back to P8 eventually overall. At this point, where he is, yeah, I think he was about P6 here. This is where it steps out on him somewhere around here.
Yeah.
Or he gets a tap. Quite see, because obviously we're focusing on the drivers up the road.
What was it on the white flag?
Yes, it was. Yeah. It was on the last lap of the race. There it is. So, just because I saw it in the background, I just wanted to see why if it dropped a couple of those places. So one place you don't really want to be stepping. There it is, stepping it out, isn't it? And I don't know if he collected anybody else. No, they got around, thankfully. But let's see how far he dropped him back anyway.
Okay.
Nothing that Ben Harcum needed to worry about, my friend, because he delivered that and Kyle. So they started, those two, in the exact same positions that they finished.
We did. Ben Harcum is in front. Carl Griesick in second. Oliver Turan third. Marty Rogers in fourth. John Barton fifth. John Campbell sixth. John Crutchley seventh. So the triple J's there in fifth, sixth and seventh. Mark Herzog eighth. Keith Hanlon ninth. Al Corey 10th. Jason Benson 11th. Daniel Schnell 12th. Iris Ashby down in 13th. And Dustin Barton in 14th place there. So well done to everybody who has managed to get this done and finished. I'd love to be able to have a chat now with, I'm just going to put him in there a minute because he might not want to talk to me, but we'll give him a minute to realise. And now I'm going to bring in the man who, on my record, has only done one pit stop this evening, and that is Mr. John Barton. John, how are you?
I'm excellent.
That is right.
Is that correct? One pit stop?
One pit stop.
Wow.
And it was I only went in when I did because I hit the wall and broke my wheel. I had another 22 laps of gas left.
Right. How are your tires, John?
Actually, not bad. 70, 75, 86.
% left.
Well, yeah.
And that was after your initial first stint where you didn't pit until 161.
That was at 161. At 161, I had 75, 86.
Blimey. Well, that was an absolutely stellar job there. I just wanted to have a chat with you about your pit stop strategy, John, to be honest, because obviously you had 3 sets of tyres you could have used, you didn't in the end, and you finished in the top 5. So not a bad evening of racing for you.
Not a bad evening. And what happened was I was, I don't know, turning some really consistent 23.5, 23.7. And in practice, I was not significantly faster than that. So new tires wouldn't really have helped me because I'm just not a fast driver.
I feel your pain, John. I'm not going to lie. I'm the same as you, mate. There'd be no point in anyone asking me to race now for them because I'd just be, probably spent more time in a gravel trap or in the wall. But John, absolutely stunning race from you there, sir, as well. One pit stop, absolutely incredible. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Scott Kelly, the sponsor of the race. Thanks to Scott.
Awesome stuff. John, catch up with you soon, no doubt.
Thanks, James.
Take care, mate. Right. And then we'll have a chat, of course, with the man who took first place here this evening, Ben Harcombe. Ben, welcome in. How are you?
Good. How about you, gentlemen?
I'm all right, mate. Not bad. Seen, a good evening of racing. I've just watched you take it as well. Was there any doubt in your mind?
I feel like I had a good shot. Me and Kyle were battling good all night long. I felt like I had the car to do it, and I definitely did. Got the win.
Now, you seem to be the only person who's not moaning about the setups on your car, Ben. How was it for you?
It was pretty loose, especially off of 4, but I think I got the middle to high line dialed in, and that was working pretty good. But other than 3 and 4, it was pretty good.
Okay, so you were happy overall, but you did have a stellar scrap with Carl all the way through there, and, what an amazing job from the both of you. Are you a lover of Richmond? Because I know certain people don't really like Richmond.
Well, I'm kind of biased because I live about 45 minutes from the track, so it's my home track.
So you are a fan?
Big fan.
Big
Going
fan.
there this weekend, actually.
Nice. What are you going there for?
The race in Richmond for the NASCAR Cup Series.
Okay. We're going on to Michigan. Well, you're going on to Michigan next week. Favorite track? Not really?
Not one of my favorites, but I'll run it probably.
Okay, Ben. Well, congratulations. Well done on your victory there, bud. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Just the great job by the league here. All the admins do a wonderful job. It's a pleasure to run with these guys every week.
Awesome stuff. Well, Ben, thanks so much for talking to us, bud, and look forward to maybe catching up with you again sometime.
Looking forward to it.
Take care. Right, so there we go. That is Ben, and then the final interview and chat of the evening goes to this man, Mr. Carl Gruzik, finishing second place. Carl, how are you?
I am doing good. How are you?
I'm all right. Not bad at all. Just watched some good racing. I've seen you come over the line in second. Happy? Not happy?
Well, I like Ben. Ben's cool. I actually met Ben here.
Okay.
In real life. I live 15 minutes from here. So this is a, by definition, home track.
Yep.
So that sucks to not win, but still a really good points night. And yeah, just a lot of fun to battle old Hen Barkham for the win there.
When did you think you weren't going to get it? Was you battling was you trying all the way to the very end, or did you stop, say, on the last lap and just thought, right, I'm just going to keep this out the wall now?
Well, so I got ahead of him after we had that restart with Al and I forget who else. But I got ahead, and then I went into turn 1, and I actually said in the chat, hey, if I have a loose moment going in the corner, I'm going to say spin if I think I'm going to spin. And I went in the corner, and it got that little bit loose, and I did that whole slide through the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And the second I did that, that's when I shot myself in the foot, because that gave them the track position, and then I had to get by 2 people before I could even really do anything. But yeah, I was trying all the way to the end. There was like a high line thing I was trying to do, but I couldn't get the car to stop to do it.
Okay, mate. Well, going on to Michigan next week, how do you think you'll do there?
I did a race there like a couple weeks ago, and was doing really good the whole race. I felt like I figured out like a really good line, and yeah, I was leading going in the final corner and ran out of fuel. So
oh no,
pick that one up.
Well, I hope so for your sake, Carl, as well. Thank you so much for joining us up here in the booth. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out the league, of course. Good racing, good people, fun, and Ben for I think his first win of the season, and my YouTube channel, Sexy Waltrip. Check it out. I stream.
Okay, mate. Well, thank you so much for joining us there, bud. Maybe we'll catch up with you again as the season goes on.
Yeah, y'all have a good rest of your night.
And you. Well, there you go, Biggles. That was all the top 3 drivers here. And obviously, we had a chat with John Barton as well, purely because I just wanted to find out about his pit stop.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad racing at all there, mate.
Yeah, I was actually right with John too, wasn't it? I said
I kind of suspected that he didn't have the pace there, he didn't like to set up or something like that, so he was just really to cruise around. And that's what he did, cruised around those tires. But yeah, what is an exciting race. And we actually, apart from the many of those collisions that we had at the start, we had some fantastic, good consecutive green laps around there for a bit. And that's kind of how it switched things around a little bit too, didn't it, James? But great racing, of course. And triple bypass always delivers that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there you go, guys. That brings us to the end of the broadcast. Thank you so much to everybody that has joined us. Don't forget, we've got more racing coming up for you. Well, I want to say tomorrow because I haven't slept, but in about probably, give or take, 15 hours time with the JPB Clio Cup returning as well. We've also got the LSRL GT3 and the Sunday Drive Racing going off after the LSRL GT3 on the well, for me it's Tuesday morning, for you guys it's Monday night as well. So racing all the way this week, as there always is. But for now, guys, from myself and the mighty Dean Biggles up here in the booth, you all take care, have a great week, and you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.